This, the cockroach theory. Y'all have cockroaches up here in Michigan? Nasty things, right? Nasty things. I pay $80 every 3 months to get them out of my house. But at a restaurant, this is from the new CEO of Google, whose name is Sundar Pichai. Brand new CEO of Google, all right? Worth $150 million, this guy, all right? He came up with the cockroach theory, and I wanted to share it with you today because it does apply to what we're doing here. These ladies were sitting at a restaurant, all right, just minding their business, eating, and all of a sudden, a cockroach lands on one of them. Now, what would your reaction be?
Scream.
You can see, you can talk to me.
Scream.
Scream. What would your reaction be?
Hit it up.
Scream, flail, hit off. So they were just flailing everywhere, and they flail off, and it lands on the next lady, all right? And she's freaking out, and this thing is going, you know, the thing's just sitting there, but she's going nuts. It's flailing everywhere. And next, the waiter walks over to see what he can do, and the waiter walks over, and a cockroach jumps on him. And what does he do? Pauses, freezes. He looks down at the cockroach, all right? And he studies the cockroach's movement, okay? And he analyzes what he's doing, and all of a sudden, then he calmly, casually picked up the cockroach and flung it outside, all right? And Sundar was sitting in the restaurant here, and he was wondering why that happened, why that waiter reacted what he did. All right, he was studying his movements, and he realized that the waiter responded, the women, and it could be men too if they were there, I would do the same thing, reacted, all right? And there's a difference between a response and a reaction, all right? Difference between a response and a reaction. A response is instinctive, all right? We don't really have control of what we're doing. We just flail, get it off me. The cockroach wasn't biting, he wasn't going nuts, he wasn't like, you know, urinating as they do. They do some weird stuff sometimes, cockroaches. They wouldn't do any of that. It was just there, but the women were freaking out. The waiter, though, he chose to respond, and a response is something that is strategic, all right? It's well thought out. And when you respond to difficult situations, you learn how to deal with those situations, because a lot of times our fear is that we don't know how to handle the situation. We're not fearful of the situation itself or the person itself, but we don't know how to handle that screaming boss, that screaming spouse, that angry kid, that yelling employee. We don't know how to handle the situation. So the cockroach theory will teach you to handle it, to respond, to think logically, and then create a course of action with good communication skills.